Okay, press the button.
Yeah.
I'll press it in a moment. I'm refilling my tea.
Press.
I've already pressed the button.
And you're a robot.
What a perfect time to turn into a robot.
My voice is doing okay. So
Okay,
hi.
yes, you have unroboted.
Thank goodness. Hi, this is Beth. Welcome to GURPS Wars, a homebrew GURPS Star Wars set, about, 18 years or so before the first of SWTOR MMORPG. We're doing the logistics lot. Hopefully we won't turn into robots, but Discord has been being naughty. So, with me are Crash and Ellie and EO, and what happened last time?
I took off my coat.
Yes,
Without help.
which was possibly a problem.
It was the most time-consuming and difficult part of the entire session.
I mean, could have stopped midway, but things were over a lot faster than there needed to be more rats, clearly.
I mean,
I'll
yes,
remember this.
the GM will remember this. There were definitely more womp rats. There was a lizard thing that tried to eat my torso. That was fun.
Spleen. Popped out of nowhere, apparently.
Indeed. There was a combat, and I spent my time with someone named Chadrick, apparently.
But this means you didn't have to roll your post-combat shakes.
It's true.
I think
I was too busy rolling my getting out of my spacesuit shakes.
I've stopped in the middle of it, but yeah,
I think
forgot to mention.
in post-production,
My fault.
not during the session, but in post-production, the part that I will enjoy the most is when Rand goes, "Entuxa, are you okay?" Looking for Entuxa, who is using the Force to be invisible, and has forgotten, canonically, that she used the Force to be invisible. And Entuxa gives Rand a thumbs up, an invisible thumbs up.
It's like what we do all the time at our computer screens.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredibly frustrating for Rand.
Promptly went wandering around with arms spread, going, "Entuxa, where are you?"
I also liked how, as I mentioned, that Rand was looking for any signs that Entuxa might have been attacked and drug off. So there might be scraps of fabric laying around. Very well-made scraps of fabric. And then Entuxa made an artistry roll that was technically unrelated to how well done the scraps of fabric were. But that's how we interpreted it anyway.
Yes. So you slaughtered the 3 womp rats that were doing Force Scream at you, and you killed the Sleen that appeared out of nowhere, apparently, that you think may have been being invisible in the Force and not just extremely stealthy amid all of the rubble.
For a time, it was unsleen, but then we sleen it.
Clean. Out of nowhere.
It has been sleen.
And as they say on Blue Sky, take your like and get out.
You could always do what I do in Cypher System and give us XP.
I will give you each 1 Cypher System XP, yes.
I will cherish this. It is my precious. Hey, wait a minute. You found out how to add things to character sheets. You found out how to add stat blocks.
Yeah.
We could have a Cypher System XP stat block on here.
That would be interesting. I'll have to see if I can make that work on here, if it's going to hork up if I have extra stuff. In the meantime, I can certainly give it to you in your carried equipment, I think.
Hello, I'm Ran. Nice to meet you. I have 244 points in GURPS, and I am tier 3 in Cypher System. How'd that happen? Well, I seem to have a talent for making the GM laugh at things.
Anyway, you went wandering through, and there's a small hallway that was leading to Quadrant 1. Heck, there's probably signage on the walls that say that you are going from the what's the word? From lab 2 leading into um living quarters 1 or something like that. There's a door. There's also a door to your effective south. And did you open that door canonically or no?
Yes. At the end of the last session, I remember this. I opened the door. I saw things in there. I closed the door. You told me it was the things like those little that little laughing character from he was given a name like Max Grebo or something.
The Jabba the Hutt's pet Kowakian monkey lizard. These,
Yeah.
I should note, are a larger form. They're probably about chimpanzee sized.
Yeah,
And they
I
were
opened
funny
the door,
colors.
saw them, and then closed the door.
They were sitting on the top bunk. This looked like, in the brief moment that you looked in, it looked like a, standard, almost luxurious 2-bunk, tiny room.
Yeah, and you know what? They're probably napping. I don't want to wake them.
They did lift their heads when you opened the door.
I stand by my statement. I will will that statement to be true. I am strong with the Force, but not that strong.
Okay, there's my rolls.
I see a question mark and a question mark.
Good. That's what you should see. I'm glad. Everybody, you saw Ran open the door and then close the door.
I assume that what was in there wasn't good.
Now, why'd that show up twice?
It only shows up twice for you. Also, you're in private
Actually,
mode.
it showed up 3 times. Well, yes, it was there as a joke. I rolled 3D1.
That will do something.
Be predictable.
Yes.
Call
will
it
let
heads
you
or
banter.
tails. Yes.
There was, in fact, something in there.
There was more than one thing in there. I think they were sleeping. We may have woken them up.
Well, are they lock and fuse the door, woken up, or
Well,
we can ignore them woken up?
they were about... Would I have recognized the species?
IQ plus 3.
Where is my plus
If-
3? There is my plus
And you can
3.
just roll.
Intelligent roll. I have rolled a thing.
You
I have
seem to have
made
rolled
it by
rather
5. Okay.
Yeah, you recognize that it's a monkey lizard, although they were about twice as large, and they turn kind of greenish pale instead of the more common brownish, horrible Muppet look.
I mean, greenish is still a Muppet look, but yes. They appear to be
Thick.
painted monkey lizards. It's weird. Why do we call them monkey lizards? Who's ever heard of a monkey? Anyway.
I assumed a monkey was something native to Koak. Well, if they're not going to bother us, then we can wait to bother them until later. Shall we continue?
Sounds like an excellent idea. There's probably something worse through this other door.
My God, you're right. It's a hallway.
Rand screams in terror. He does not. He stage screams. Very
It's
quietly.
a very long hallway. It actually technically fades into the darkness because, as everywhere else you've been, something seems to have come and smashed out rather a lot of the lights. There's some dim emergency lighting stuff going on.
It's okay.
If I
Well,
wanted to fight with Foundry, I'd reduce your visual field, which would be hilarious, but I don't want to fight with Foundry.
Well, first
Yes.
of all, it's okay. We're not alone in the dark. We have each other. And also, we're not alone in the dark.
The dark's alone in there with us?
We have lightsabers. The very first word in it.
It's true. You can create a nice, dim red glow that sort of flickers slightly as the plasma field vibrates.
A warm, glowing, warming glow that occasionally a womp rat will try to jump into, as demonstrated previously.
Indeed. The hallway has, as you approach, a area where it's opening out. There are tables and chairs, some of which are even upright, a lot of which are not. And then beyond are more doors and maybe another open area. It's a little hard to tell. And there's another door to your south, which is labeled kitchen.
Ooh. And because this door is not aligned properly, I'm already seeing through a little bit, so I'm just going to make it so that the spoiler is canon and open this door.
There's a galley style, space station kitchen in there. It's not showing on the map. And Tuxa, hold up just a moment. I'm going to be making you make perception rolls in a moment.
Is there any
All right.
sign of MREs?
The place seems to have been relatively looted. There are no MREs visible. There's stuff scattered all around. The cabinets are open. There's MRE packaging. It's been ripped off. There's cutlery and whatnot strewn about, napkins. There's a door to the south.
You
Oops,
were
a little
already
close
talking
here.
about Antuxa making a perception roll. I would like to make one too, but let's do Antuxa's first.
And Tuxa, you have walked a bit further. Are you invisible still?
No.
Okay, you've walked a bit further in your wonderful outfit, and I would like you to make a perception roll.
This is hearing or vision or something else.
Go ahead. How much is hearing a bonus?
+1.
Give me a hearing roll, and we'll see how much you make it by. By 6. Okay, let me just make a few rolls. You hear things chittering and squeaking behind the table and the far table at the south. And popping its head up is a monkey lizard, and then another one sort of sticks its head out just, right below the other one. They look so cute, like Muppets, except for the part where their beady eyes are faintly glowing yellow and they're looking at you with an expression.
Not
an
An
expression.
expression.
Okay, it's one of those expressions that it's a little hard to decipher, except for the part where it's just sort of staring fixedly at you in a way that well, you're a Sith. This is the sort of predatory sizing something up to determine whether they think it's edible. It's
Hey, that's
possible
the
that
look I give other people.
Exactly. Except maybe not the edible part, but
You don't know me.
Well, it depends. Then
Mm-hmm.
you've walked past Ran, who is peering into the kitchen area. There's tables and chairs, like one or two of them are upright, others are tipped over, and Antuxa is looking at a couple of the monkey lizard things. They are about chimpanzee sized, look kind of spiky, like they might be slightly porcupiney instead of just furry.
Are they looking hostile right now?
Would you care to give me an animal handling, danger sense, or the low grade empathic thing that Force users tend to get as a roll?
Where do I roll danger sense?
It's normally what, your IQ? Unless you have.
And the empathic thing would be what? Perception?
Yeah.
My perception is better than my IQ.
Empathic vibes are IQ -3.
Oh.
You made it by 4. It works. I mean, it's basically perception minus. It should be per, not IQ, but they're usually the same.
Well, mine aren't.
Yeah.
Incidentally,
Well,
danger sense is the GM rolls against your perception.
yeah, but I don't care. I want people rolling.
I know, but
Yes. You're doing the audience should know that I have changed the rules slightly. Pray I do not make more house rules. You're correct. Yeah, they're hot. The ones you see are evaluating fight or hide, basically, and they're angry. They're angry like all the Sith you've ever met, and Bran is puttering in the kitchen, And I'm just going to see if I can do the thing. Ooh, they're speedy little blighters. I'm just going to put things into combat time just, in case. So Ran and Sen need to click their dice. And possibly not look at the name on the thing that I named them, but that's just fine.
What am I rolling?
Okay. Cross
on the
swords
combat tracker.
on the combat tracker.
How odd, we don't appear to be in order.
That's weird.
Because Ran hasn't rolled yet.
Nevertheless, that does not appear to be in order. All right. Can I move you? No. Quick roll menu. That seems to be an interesting bug. A moment while I take a picture of it. Right, I can just do it. Yeah.
I actually don't know what the numbers are.
The numbers aren't showing for you?
No, I mean, I don't. They're showing for me. I don't know what they are.
Well, they should have gone into order of speed, I would assume.
Yeah, and we are the three of us are in order. In that respect.
Yeah, but the critters aren't.
Ah.
Okay, let me open up preview. There. Okay, go back to. Okay, well, Sen, since we're doing combat order, do you wish to react first?
2?
You.
Sen, you.
Yes, I said 2. What am I reacting to?
Okay. Well, there are some horrible little angry creatures down there that are feeling awfully hostile.
Ah, okay. I didn't catch that part.
Oh, I'm sorry. How much? They are large monkey lizards. They're kind of got a weird coloration to them. Their little beady yellow eyes seem to be glowing almost. Maybe it's a reflection of the lightsabers. And they are sizing up Antuxa, at least, with hostility.
Great, I want to throw a table at them. Or a chair.
Okay. Made by 5. That will certainly pick up a chair pretty easily. Okay. And you want to yeet it at 1. That makes it by 5. I assume the one that's slightly more exposed.
Yes.
Okay. It gets to try to dodge. It fails to dodge. Okay. I really need to do a standardized damage thing. Why didn't I do that? I meant to do that. Chair, flung, not very heavy chair. Why didn't I look that up? That's stupid of me. One moment. The GM is going to make a note to there. Okay. Give me a 2d6 minus 4.
Okay.
Whoa.
And I did put the subtract 4 in. I don't know why it just gave the result and not what each die rolled. That doesn't seem like how it's supposed to work, but
that'll do though. I mean, you rolled extremely high on those numbers. Yeah, we are using the public private roll thing, and it has been doing that. We need to okay, but it worked on those. We'll have to discuss that or something. It gets smacked, and screeching is flung backwards with the chair, whereupon it is screeching angrily and, shall we say, very, very crabby. Oh, okay, let's hit a begin. Maybe that'll fix it. Are you going to do anything useful? Give me a quick. All right. The one that got hit is dragging itself out from under the chair. It gets a slight move there. It's not doing anything. The other one, what's your move, honey? Give me your move. Ooh, fun move. It moves fast and is running for, oddly enough, Antuxa. Maybe because she's closer. Ran.
Yellow. I think it's safe to
You
say that I'm
heard-
hearing what's going on.
Yeah, you hear a crash. Not crash, but you heard the sound of something smacking into something else that shrieked angrily.
I can move 5 hexes, right?
Right.
Okay. And I see that this one is running towards Entuxa at speed.
Yep.
That won't do.
Are you going to try to grab it? Are you going to succeed in grabbing it? Yes, you are.
I'm going to succeed by 15. It may certainly attempt to resist, but I'd like to move it just high enough off the ground so that it keeps moving its little legs in an adorable cartoon way, possibly animated by somebody with long sticks behind a green screen. As it thinks it's running towards Entuxa, but its motion has ceased.
It is more difficult to lift than you would have expected, although with your telekinesis
Oh no, I'm expecting it.
Well, all right. With your
These
telekinesis
things
other,
are
you are
force
certainly...
sensitive. You've made it obvious.
Yes. Worse, this one has... You're pretty sure it's a telekinetic as well.
A challenge.
Okay, you have lifted it. That was more difficult than you thought it would be. I mean, for a normal animal, but you've gotten the idea that there's telekinesis going on with these things.
Yes.
Okay. It goes screamy, screamy. And Tuxa,
They are. You know what? I don't care.
which one are you going to try to zap?
The one that ran at me.
That's fair.
The one that ran until Ran had something to say about it.
You have indeed zapped that sucker. And how much fatigue and how much damage are you? Your fatigue gets damage?
2 fatigue, 46.
14. Very nice. What did you just do? Okay. Move. 14 damage. Okay. It screams, it writhes, it does the I am being electrocuted whole song and dance is probably not quite the right word, except, for Sith, kind of. It is not, as they say, a happy creature. Anything else, Antuxa? Any move?
No, I'm standing my ground.
Okay. Sen. Oh, those are people's hit points. What the? Why isn't it showing the... Okay, so maybe they do have... Okay. I'm going in this order, and that's what I've been doing, so I'm sticking with it. Okay. Anything else that Sidoni wants to do?
I'm considering.
Okay.
You can see that, can't you?
Yes.
Yes.
It is the best yo-yo.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I'm going to spend a couple fatigue to offset this penalty. Actually, I will spend 3 fatigue to get rid of the penalty completely. And now I am going to try to zap that one down there.
The one furthest down?
Yeah, the others seem to have the one that's in the air in hand.
Or at least in the air.
And I'm going to have to spend another fatigue to do...
You made... Okay.
Another... No. Not up, down. And now...
I do note, do we allow dodges for lightning?
I don't think so.
I believe one can ride the lightning.
Okay. That's... dodged for half damage.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure we have done dodge before, but
Mostly they don't dodge. Mostly they've not been successfully dodging, in part because either they might fail, like by 6, recently.
Well, that was pitiful damage.
Obviously things. However, it does not like that. It shrieks horribly.
Well, I don't like it either. So our dislike is mutual.
This is quite true. Okay. The one that you just zapped gets its turn now. Oops. There. It drags itself forwards a little bit. And wow, I really needed to put a range on that. Is there a range penalty? Is it a regular range penalty? Does it require touch? I don't think it requires touch. I'll pick a regular range. No, that's not what I do. I want the ruler. Thank you, ruler. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. That's not how that's supposed to work. Excuse me, I have to make sure that I'm doing this right. That's going to be at -2. That will make it exactly. Sen, is your HT or your will higher?
Will.
Roll will.
Okay.
Made by 8. You feel as this thing is advancing on you, something pulling at your life force.
Oh,
You
horrible little creature.
you manage to shove it away rather successfully. Next one goes up. The next one that is being held in midair. And measuring. Okay, let's see what we can do. The one being held in midair writhes and screams angrily in a very... It is clearly clinging to consciousness out of sheer spite. Ran.
Well, I kind of like this one. However, we're doing
You can
this.
always drag it over to yourself and say, no, you can't kill Screamy.
I have a feeling that would not end in a way where I enjoy the experience.
You're the one who just
And-
got it dangling in your telekinesis.
Yes, and I'm going to try to force choke it to death
All right.
as quickly and painlessly as possible.
Going to do the next snap attempt.
Yes. And I know it's force sensitive.
Uh-huh.
-1
Made
for
it
range.
by 13.
Oh, because I was playing with the range tool, so it gave me -1 for range. Still made it by
You
13.
still made it by 13. Yeah. It sadly it takes you a little bit longer than you would like to have happen, but made by 13 and it is already not doing so great. Let's turn to you. No, nope, not that one. It's that one. Okay. The screeching cuts off with the expected finality, and it dangles limply in your telekinetic grip.
It does not. I let it go.
It falls. Thud. Antuxa.
Did I sense what the lizard tried to do to Sen?
Give me a detect disturbances at a -3 because you were focused on the other one.
Okay.
Or
That is
for
nothing but the-
since if you have a better skill,
Detect disturbances is better.
okay. Or if you have one that's more plausible. Made by 1. Yes. You know that trick. You are aware of that trick. That is a trick that, in fact, I believe you do.
It is a trick I do.
Life drain.
I will step over the
Okay.
dead lizard.
I should note that this one that you're approaching is not being held up telekinetically. It's on its own, if that would change
Yes.
what you do. Okay.
Nope. No, Antux is being dramatic.
Okay. Dramatic.
I see you know my trick. Let me show you how it's done.
Made by 1. Will. It is resisting you. I looked up the thing for it, and actually I had it there. Why did I have it up here? It's resisted, and it takes damage equal to half your degree of success, and it resisted.
Well,
It
I'm going to spend one
hisses.
of my Cypher System XP.
What would you do with it, just out of curiosity?
Reroll.
You can spend fatigue.
I don't know how much it resisted it by.
Not much. you did not roll well. It did not roll particularly wonderfully, but you were about evenly matched in that particular contest.
Nah, I'll wait until next round. Also, the other one took 14 points of lightning damage without going down. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you fail to
I'm-
roll and boost it,
I am not going to get to a point where I'm doing 14 points of life drain damage.
it is kind of battered because Sen has zapped it, and also that's the one that got hit by a chair.
Beth, I'm trying to end
Also-
my turn.
Okay. I would, however, like you, before you end your turn, to make a perception roll. Cowering behind that table is another one, as yet uninjured. Okay, we're back to Sen, because that's how I'm doing it. Although apparently the problem... Never mind. Fighting with Foundry, they changed how the combat tracker worked, and, well, the upturn
Yeah,
table...
so Criff trying to be a ranged combatant. 1, 2, 3. I am stepping up onto this chair.
The chair is probably somewhat tipped over, and therefore you have like 1 foot on the back of the chair and 1 foot on, the edge of the seat, where the edge seat is what's pointing upwards.
And I have a reach of 1, 2, so I believe I can stab from here.
Yeah, should.
Stabbing.
Okay. It is dodging. Let's see if it succeeds. That would be a no. I mean, I just want to give everyone the missed by 5 dodge on that. So, okay. I'm quite sure that this is going to do for it 15 points of damage. Yeah, that's almost certainly going to yeah, that's time for a death check. Oh my god. Sen, how would you like to demolish the monkey lizard that rolled a critical failure on its health check to avoid dying immediately?
I think that where there was a monkey lizard head, there is now a hole where a saber went through it.
There's a little bit left. The head is bigger than the saber normally, but Yeah, that's stabbed. That's seriously stabbed. Sen, from your position, would you give me a perception roll -2 for the cover?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Well,
That succeeded. Also,
You
why
right.
is that set to self?
I don't know.
I didn't
Can
try to
you-
roll set to self.
Can you right-click it and reveal it to me?
Weird.
Very
I'm
weird.
going to make sure I'm not somehow set to self. Nope, I am not.
Okay.
So I
There's
guess
another of the critters cowering behind the table. I think that's yours. Ran, you're up.
I was muted.
That makes it difficult for you to talk.
It frequently does. Well,
Or
I
at
can
least
still
makes it
talk,
difficult
but
for us.
no one
we
else
don't
knows.
hear.
Except for
Mhm.
Socket. 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, I am the face of death. What's my minus to perception to see the other one?
Give it a I'm gonna say give you a -3. You're in a bad position for it.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have known it was there. I was heading towards Entuxa and Sen.
Okay.
Missed by 2. I see nothing but my friends, who are somewhat distracted, which is understandable.
Okay. All right. So you're not doing anything particular except standing over the one that you dealt with or finished off after the whole zappy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Entuxa?
I am going to make an assumption.
Interesting. All right. And what are you mind tricking to do to...
You, the smart one, tell everybody you know that we're not to be trifled with.
That's an interesting assumption. It gets tried to resist. It fails.
Oh, I should amend that. Run away and tell everybody you know that we're not to be trifled with.
And Maybe stay more than 2 hexes away from Sen as you run.
Yeah. Get out your ruler.
Unfortunately, it's at 2 hexes from Sen. Well, there's a table in the way, so Sen, you get to, the thing shrieks in terror at Antuxa, and Sen, you're up.
I suppose I will let it run.
It get its move double check.
For the listeners at home, Sen made a control roll, resist quite often, bloodlust, by 5.
It shrieks and runs off to try to get as far away from you people as possible. Ran, you see the thing, hear the thing shriek and see it run.
It isn't going to get very far through the wall.
No, it's not going to get very far through the wall, but it may be going to it's either going, it appears to still be in mid-run. That's just how much it gets on its turn.
I am going to gently help it to the corner. So, not trying to yeet it, but just, oh, that's the way you want to go? Let's make your strides like you're wearing 7 league boots. But not actually 7 leagues. That would put you in...
Ba-vom, ba-vom?
Move along. Move along.
Oh, yes. We're not the Sith you're looking for. Also, tell all of your friends not to look for us.
I wish that this was picking up me cackling.
It is.
Absolutely.
It did.
Okay.
It did.
Good.
It really did.
My ring did not light up for me. It looked like it was silent.
There might be parts of it that we missed, but we heard a considerable amount of it.
Oh, good. You boost it to the corner. It shrieks more. And Tuxa, we're still running in the combat time. It's trying to round the corner.
I'll let it.
Okay. In
It
that
didn't attack
case,
me. I have no reason to antagonize it. Besides, it's a messenger. It's telling everybody else that we really don't want to have to hit them. I mean, I really don't want to have to hit them. I can't speak for everybody.
We see a nameplate appear underneath it. Harbinger.
actually, that's a point. I should probably update its name. Token name.
The messenger. Good thing none of us has blasters. Someone might shoot it.
Yes, Lord Zelda, the space station is under control, but if you see a monkey lizard yelling, "Doom, doom," we had nothing to do with it.
You hear the sound of a door close as it passes out of your sight. And let's see, there certainly was some noise going on, so I'll just drop out of combat for the moment, although
I apparently lack permission to update token in parent scene.
As do I.
How do I fix this?
It was just a pop-up.
It's because
error,
you dropped
don't worry.
combat. Yeah.
Oh. Weird.
Well, that was less pleasant.
Yes. Is anybody injured? I feel like that didn't get near enough to us to do any damage, but you never know.
And Tuxie, do you feel like this would trigger your post-combat shakes or the fact that you didn't get hit or anything? And you resist. Okay.
Monkey lizards are unmodified. Monkey lizards are considerably more intelligent than womp rats. I am liking what they were doing here, less and less.
I'm not going to lie, you had me in the first half. Well, if no one is injured, what do you say we take a 5-minute breather and then return when we've gathered our wits about us?
That sounds like a good idea. Everybody take 5 and try to keep it under 15.
Right, I'll just
roll
telekinesis other to press this inconspicuous button over here. But what does the button even do? I mean, I press it and
Well,
now
goes
it
on
stopped
hold.
doing
Yep.
that. And if I press it again, and now it stops doing that. But why does
That's
that
the-
yellow thing keep flashing?
That's the beauty of it. It doesn't do anything.
Doesn't even go bing. I suppose it'd be much more expensive if it did go bing.
And we're back. You have at least, well, the thing ran off shrieking, and then there was the whooshing sound of a door irising closed, and the shrieking is not really very audible anymore.
The shrieking has switched to Libby.
Or something.
Hmm.
Yeah. Actually, I think, does Libby do audiobooks, or is that Hoopla?
Yes.
Hoopla does audiobooks.
Yes, I have gotten many good audiobooks through Libby.
Oh, good.
The checkout process is exactly the same.
Sadly, I do not have any audiobooks because that would require hiring someone to read them, and I'm not going to have them read. I'm not going to sell anything that's read by, quote, AI, unquote. You know, if people have a screen reader to read the books to themselves, that's fine, but I'm not going to sell something that a glorified
you don't need
screen
AI.
reader.
You've got some ancient Macs. Use the
I am
voice
not.
that.
No.
Use the one that sings, dun, 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 like the funeral dirge. Use that
No.
one for the entire book.
No, absolutely no. That is
The
terrible.
bubbly
No.
one. Use the bubbly one.
No.
If you're listening at home, the game was supposed to have started again.
Yes.
What's
So,
around this corner?
a hallway. There was another door in the kitchen. I don't know
Oh.
if you want to look into it or not.
I
It was
mean,
door
we
to the
did send
freezer.
someone back that way. But, yeah, I suppose. There might be MREs in the kitchen.
I am sensing any additional nearby mines.
Okay, Bran, give me a pause before you open doors because I need to resolve sensing nearby mines.
Okay.
Okay, what's your range on Made It by 6?
300 yards. But really, I'm mostly concerned with whether there are still lizards hiding out in this room.
Just for grins, I'm going to just see how far.
Invisible
300
lizards
yards
in
gets
my
you.
cafeteria?
Oh my god. You have 300 yards worth of, yes, there are mines here. You are not tracking. You don't think there are any invisible lizards in this immediate area. There are some nearby mines that do not feel precisely sapient. There are some further away mines that don't feel they sapient isn't the right. They feel
Sentient,
weird.
not sapient.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair number of. They feel like sapiency is something. They feel like they might have been sapient once. There's something that's definitely sapient even further away. There's
Okay.
a lot of other minds.
Oh, that's worrying to the player, but not to Rand because he doesn't know any of this.
Indeed. Checking with Send. Are you doing anything in particular? Were you doing any
watch?
Okay. Are you doing any meditation or anything because you're down some fatigue? And Tuxa did meditation.
Ah, did she? Okay, I will also try to meditate then. I will actually succeed at meditating for once.
I left
Okay.
the room.
Indeed, but you didn't spend any.
I got the desired reaction. I heard that laugh, yo.
Okay, I'm not giving you a destiny point.
No, I only collect Cypher System XP. Anyway.
Bran, there's a small-ish, small isn't, it's not that small, kitchen in here. There are counters that are not shown on the map. The place is trashed. It looks like things have been through here looking for food. The door,
Yes.
however, in the back is closed. It is labeled freezer.
About that.
You have rolled perception about
Yes.
that.
I'm specifically looking at how this place has been ransacked because there's ransacked and then there's ransacked. There's the kind that is done when you have a raccoon trying to get food. There's the kind that's done when you have a survivor of the zombie apocalypse gathering supplies. These are, to some, very similar.
And there's the kind that's done when a certain Sith is besieging a city.
It ransacks it, yes. You would say, with your perception there, it's a bit hard to tell. There has definitely been the raccoon-style version.
Okay. So there's no cabinets where the latches look like a monkey lizard wouldn't be able to open it or something like that.
All the cabinets that you can see are at least ajar, if not pulled off their hinges.
Okay, but are the lids still on the jars?
No. Everything that is remotely edible has been gotten into, and probably a few things that aren't have been kind of chewed on.
Okay. Well,
On the other hand, those monkey lizard things, they have kind of fingers and such,
they
so,
do.
you know.
And they're more intelligent than, say, a womp rat.
Yeah.
I mean, the one in Return of the Jedi was laughing at jokes, but they weren't very good
Or at least
jokes,
laughing
so-
whenever. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
It was laughing when other people were laughing.
Yes. So, how does that freezer door look?
It looks closed.
Damaged, scratched, covered in blood?
There's some bloody smears down at the floor.
Okay, so I'm
It's
going to say
a
that's
little
business as
scratched up.
usual.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you know me. Why would I walk over to open a door when I can open it from here?
Oh, well then let's open that door.
Oh, look, I found a corpse.
Yeah, I only had one, icon that was good for that, so,
Oh, Entuxa, Sen, I found some things.
By things, you mean
I see dead people, I think.
like dead, or like dead and crawling around?
Well, they're in the freezer.
That's
And based
not an
on the character
answer.
art, they appear to be lying down.
So, someone decided to freeze their leftovers.
4 of them, to be precise. And they are all armed with cartoony swords.
I
We-
hate everything.
Ignore the cartoony swords. It's the only corpse that I had for this one.
You'd
That
think they'd
looked-
all be wearing red shirts.
But they're all wearing blue shirts because that's the one I used. It was the first image that I found that worked out for
Someone
it.
has murdered several members of the science team.
You are on a science-y station. Admittedly, it's a technology station, but yeah,
Yeah.
they look like scientist type people. Oh no, that one over there looks more like security.
Then they should be wearing yellow.
Unfortunately, I didn't have enough different tokens for that. You'll have to get me more, Crash.
Oh, wait. Are we doing
Is it
the original series or GURPS Wars Next Generation?
And
Is it
Tuxa?
strange that I'm pleased that they're in the freezer? I mean, we all know what I'm going to have to do, and at least this way they'll just be cold. I won't need quite as much hand sanitizer. Good Lord.
Unfortunately, the hand sanitizer seems to have been eaten.
I'm in
Something
such
was sharp.
distress, I'm using oaths from cultures that don't even exist yet, and are from a galaxy far, far away. Anyway,
There are 3 apparent scientist types and 1 apparent security type.
well, we all know what I have to do.
Touching one of the scientists or one of the security.
The one that's closest to the door.
Um,
And yes, I'm taking my glove off to do it.
one.
And Tuxa solemnly boops each one of them on the nose.
It's a very sacred rite. Yes, obviously. It's one of the scientist types. You have made your psychometry by 2. Mostly what you are getting is something hulking and very present, and there's a hunger that isn't entirely physical, and it's dragging this by the clothing and dumping it into the freezer, and the door shuts and there is darkness.
All right.
If there's anything particular you're looking for beyond that, then you may either have to roll again or it might fit into what.
I'll try again with each of the bodies, but I don't expect to get a whole lot more than I just got.
Okay. You never know, you might get a crit success. That's a
Yeah,
failure.
I don't get anything off that one.
Indeed. Made by 4. It's the security person, and you have a flash of them facing something in the darkness that is wielding a glowing blade. Not a lightsaber, a training saber. And then there is a zap, a crunch, and then being dragged off after a bit. The last one, made by 5, hiding in their room and babbling something into a comm recorder, something about the computer system. The computers have been cut. Why are they cut? This isn't how it should be. They're in the vents? Are they seriously in the vents? Why am I in a horror movie? This isn't supposed to be a horror movie. I hate you. Just a moment. I hate you. Oh, what is it? I hate you, Lord Fellet. Where are you? You're supposed to be fixing this. And then something forces the door open.
Is that a name I
And
recognize?
Lord Fellet, no. Not unless you asked more questions than I think you did.
Okay.
There is also, after that, there's a confusion. This one has had a few bites taken out of them. Whatever, you don't really want to think about that. And there's a confusion and a struggle above the body that you only get pieces of because things are kicking it around, and then something comes and drags it here. And that would be the first one not the first one, the
Right.
one furthest along the from the door.
I shall communicate this and ask if Ran or Sen knows anything about a Lord Felid.
You can make rolls if you want, IQ rolls, and if you make them by enough, then maybe. Ran, no.
Missed it by that much.
Mm-hmm. Sen?
Hi. Okay. Yeah, my mic was up. That was the issue.
Oh, sorry.
Indeed, we can't hear you
No
when
worries.
that happens. The name is not quite ringing a bell, but maybe ringing a bell. It might be something that Lord Zelday was muttering about.
Oh yeah, he said that the guy who jumped ship did this. So I guess maybe that's the guy who jumped ship.
I think perhaps we'd better find a computer, or at least a data pad. All right. Well, there's something big and hungry stalking this place. And I did sense a sapient mind somewhere in all of this ridiculousness.
Big, hungry, and knows to use a freezer.
Yes.
How many yards of success did you get on those?
300, I think.
It's 300. It's 50 yards per degree of success.
Right. There may be more than one sapient mind left.
Okay.
It's hard to tell.
Well, then we might be able to reason and not just zap, slice, and crunch.
Well, if we do that, we'd better get them out of a sitting position first. After all, they only stand to reason. Unless there are any objections, I'm going to close the freezer door behind me.
If you didn't, Ran would have. Ran would not have come back to do it, but Ran would have.
Picking your way carefully. Okay, let's see. No.
This is a lot of dice that's being rolled right now.
Yeah,
And they're all being rolled by the GM.
Okay.
Sen, are you coming along?
Yes.
Oh, I almost forgot.
What are you
Close the door.
telekinesis-othering?
Using my
There
hands
are-
to open doors. Why would I do that?
Sen, you opened a door. It looks like a little private eating room or a conference room or something, and there's a couple of those horrible monkey lizard things sitting on the table. You close the door.
Let's speed run this. We're not doing a full clear.
Just give the GM just a moment here. The GM would like to make a couple of rolls. Sen, the door opens again.
Well, all right then. You two want to die?
I close the door.
Ran!
Look, if they're going to do this, then I'm doing this.
Lizard season. Nobody sees him. Lizard season. Nobody season.
Well, it's not Twi'lek season, let me tell you that.
We eventually pull off the signs until there's a sign that says, mysterious sentient being lurking in the hallways season. Oh.
7. You feel, Ran, that there is a lot of tugging going on that door. You're holding it, but there is a combined will trying to pull that door open again.
I would like these beings to live. That's not going to happen if I lose this fight to keep the door closed.
I mean, you can try to have somebody spot weld it shut with their saber or something.
Not it.
Why do you want them to live again?
Because they're trying so hard.
They're trying to attack us.
I've seen plenty of acolytes with less focus than these oddly colored monkey lizards. It's weird, but I'm rather proud of them. However, they're still monkey lizards, and they're likely low on food. And they've been horribly abused. So I'm not sure we can reason with them right now. Would it make sense for me to have brought a couple MREs with me, or would those have not fit with the suit?
You probably have like a ration bar. Sen
Okay.
has controlled their bloodlust by 7.
I will spot weld the criffing door.
1 second. Step back, please.
All right.
I would like to try to open the door, toss in the ration bar, broken in half, so that there's 2 halves flying in, and then close the criffing door again.
Open it just enough to toss in the
I'm going
thing.
to Utini grenade it, but with food.
How far open are you going to allow the door to get?
Just enough for the ration bar. I'm not really going to try to expose us to combat.
Are you throwing the ration bar in with your hands or with the force?
I'm just going to stare directly at the camera.
I'm going to ask you for 2 telekinesis other rolls. The first one is going to be at a -2 penalty because you're trying to let the door open, but only enough for a ration bar to be maneuvered in. And the second one is going to be at a -3.
First roll at
I'm aware
-2,
these, made
by
8.
8.
Yeah, I'm aware that these are dinky penalties for
Second.
you.
Yes, however, the more I roll, the more likely I'm going to get a crit fail.
Mm-hmm.
And
17
then
is always a
Sen
fail.
gets what they want, which is combat.
Mm-hmm.
And made the second one by 6.
As you open the door, a pair of monkey lizards basically slam themselves against the gap. I mean, I'm sure you've seen, like, cats trying to get through something that is just barely
Never.
not wide enough for their little
No.
skulls.
Never.
Yeah, right.
I've never seen the paw upside down going under the door and then reaching up with claws extended.
Yeah, basically like that. You toss the thing in. One of them abandons going after you to go investigate the things you threw in. The other one is still going scrabble, scrabble. You may want to shove it in.
I would like to shove it in. I would not like to amputate an arm.
Well, give me another teak roll because it's being, very orange about this.
Bad.
You shove it in. You close the door. Yeah, that'll work. I don't think it's going to be... it did not make a critical success to resist that. It did resist you, but not nearly enough. The door slams again. Sen, what are you going to roll for a spot weld?
I don't know.
Okay.
What do you think I should roll for a spot weld?
I would argue a lightsaber attack.
I'm going to suggest give a mechanical aptitude and then a lightsaber attack. Welding is something that you do sometimes as part of the mechanical thing. Okay? Made it by 5. Yeah, you think you see where you have to weld these things shut. Critical success on the saber staff! You have indeed welded this shut. I will replace the icon with the locked door.
And that one's full of monkey lizards. And is this one full of monkey lizards? Let's find out.
You see a kicked around table and some chairs and dead computer monitors.
I see a womp rat up ahead.
Yeah, there's one lying on the table over there. Then approaches. Just okay. Sen, everybody, hold on. Just Sen is using stealth. That's good. Sen, I'm going to do the danger sense roll, and you are definitely sensing danger from up ahead.
Psst. There's something bad.
Ran also makes stealth by 7. Sen made stealth by 7. And Tuxa?
Ran is very surprised at his ability right now. That was all die rolls, not actual skill.
And Tuxa, are you bothering to be stealthy? Or are you just going to walk behind Ran?
One moment, please. I realized I forgot to copy something to my sheet.
Oops.
And Tuxa glides behind us like she normally does, but does so in such a way that her boots make no sound as they hit the ground. Oh, wait, I can do that too. Yes, I will be light on my feet. I already made the stealth roll. This is just for showing off. Telekinesis self, made by 4.
Well, you cannot fly with it. You could probably indeed make yourself just a little bit lighter. So if there are any pit traps around that are triggered by weight, then you're probably a little safer from them.
Not expecting pit traps on a space station. Am expecting footfalls to make sound. Unless...
So realizing that I've never decided on a name.
Oh. Your new ability doesn't have a fancy name yet?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Ran, as you start rounding the corner...
There are additional friends there.
There's a corpse lying on a table that's been put upright. Pause a moment while I describe. And there are 3 approximately human-sized, somewhat hunched over humanoids who are spiky, and they wear scraps of clothing that it's mostly because, well, they tore off anything that they didn't like, or maybe things got, the remains of like scientist clothing, maybe? That one might have the remains of some security leather jacket on it or something.
Oh, I am rather concerned.
Yeah, there's a couple of bodies, one on... there are 3 tables here that have actually been set upright with chairs strewn about, and there's bodies, 2 human bodies on 2 of the tables, and a womp rat is lying there looking probably deceased on the 3rd table. And Ran, as you come around the corner, you can see that there's something basically lurking right around the corner.
Well, good timing then.
The way we're all stacked together, I'm imagining we're all looking around the corner with our heads one above the other, all going around the corner
We're
at
doing
the
the
same
Scooby-Doo
time.
thing.
Yes. We all do nothing. We have achieved peace. I know that's just because we're entering combat and we start off doing nothing until it's our turn. However, I will choose to believe.
Okay, that one has been done. These things are fast.
Yeah.
Let me...
Good news, everyone. The healer's going last.
This is true. This is true. Let me just take off the little notes that I had as to... That's what I want to take off. Much better. The 2 that are over by one of the bodies on the table, who look to have been having a meal, snarl. The one that is closest is going to move 1 and 2 and take a swing at Sen, who is
Someone they can't see.
Oh, Sen went invisible?
Huh?
You asked me what I was doing and never waited for the answer.
Ah, there you are. Force cloaking. I'm sorry. Well, you cannot be seen. Sen, are you visible? You
I
made
was
stealth.
sneaking.
Sen is not visible, neither is Ran. This is not invisibility.
Oh, you're right. No one is visible. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for stopping me. I forgot that Force Cloak is not invisibility. The thing is waiting, since you were all very stealthy, around the corner. It is not doing anything yet. It appears to be lurking, and it creeps one hex forward to peek its little head out and look around the corner, as if it had heard something and now it wants to see if something is going to show up.
No,
can
and
be-
Tuxa will wait because it's not her turn yet.
Sen. Let me hit the begin.
Oh no, it's within 2 hexes of Sen. So you break invisibility when you use the Force, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you use a lightsaber?
Generally, attacking will shatter the giant mind trick of we are not here. So
We are not here.
attack.
Now, we are here, but your arm is not.
Mm-hmm.
It's my turn.
It's your turn, Sen.
Do I get any bonuses of any kind for attacking from invisibility?
If it has danger sense in the Force, then it can still try to fling itself away and dodge. If it doesn't, then it would be completely unaware of you and have no active defenses. You don't know if this has a Force presence. Worse nose boop.
Well, I'm going to try to stab it.
Okay. Roll your damage. Oh, 6 and 3 ones. A 9. Yes. Yes, Sen has appeared out of nowhere. The thing reels back in its hex and makes a horrible sort of sound as it takes a whole bunch of its hit points in damage all at once. It is clutching where you have stabbed. Are you going to move as well?
No, the way I'm standing right now, I'll be protecting Antux once Antux appears, and I like that.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to go to Ran.
Okay.
Your
Well, I have different things I can do. I could go after the same one that Sen is going after, but then Sen wouldn't have someone to play with. And I'd rather let Sen have their fun. So I'm going to do what any gamer does when things aren't going their way. I would like to flip a table on those other two I can see. The
Going to
table
take
looks
the
large
table
enough
that they're
that I could
next
hit
to?
both of them.
Yeah.
Yes. Technically,
Bad
I would
news.
like to... What, sorry?
Bad news. You're at a -5 penalty if you want to stay invisible.
Rand has not actually thought about that and is probably not going to try to stay invisible. The -5 penalty
Well, if
might
you-
not be a problem for Rand specifically, but I can't see Rand thinking
Yeah,
ahead of
that was the joke.
for tactics like that. Yes. I got the joke, but also then you made me think, would Rand care? No, he is so self-confident about his telekinesis other ability that he would not be thinking about being invisible. He might not have noticed that Antuxa helped by making him be invisible. He just might be thinking, wow, I am being so quiet right now. We're so quiet.
And Tuxu, your coworkers are impossible. On the other hand, you did get the first hit on them because of Force Cloak. So
Yes.
It's all right. They're having fun, and that's what matters.
So what I'd like to do is take the table that is currently being used for a version of dinner and have it hit that far wall to the south.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone happens to not get out of the way of the table, things might happen.
All right. Give me your roll. Let's see what appalling number you make it by. 14. And that's...
I could have, in fact, stayed invisible. However,
I'm going to suggest that Rand stays invisible.
okay. If the
And
GM
Tuxu, why
allows
don't-
it.
I think it's less that I don't know. I don't know whether my reading of the rule is right, but it sounds to me like if you roll without the penalty and you would have made it by 5, you can probably not decloak.
I'm okay with this if the GM allows it.
I mean, part of it is intent, if you're working quietly or not. And Tuxa, how about you
Fair
do
enough.
another roll for the Force Cloak to see if you can hold it despite Ran being a bit rowdy? Yeah, you hold
by
it
2.
despite Rand being rowdy. Rand does not automatically decloak, and Antuxa can, in fact, maintain that appropriately. Okay,
Can I
let's
bring
see
Sen back into it?
next turn, but it's going to cost
Okay.
the fatigue of adding a new person.
Oh, that's right. I didn't actually spend fatigue on the second roll. All right.
Right, no fatigue on the second roll to maintain it.
Yeah, no, that tracks for me.
Okay. Oh, no, that's not actually a crit. I have a penalty sitting there for some reason. Why are those things? Okay, that one's definitely
Because
a
you were
bad.
measuring range, probably.
Yes, because I was measuring
Yeah.
range.
You were measuring 300 yards of range. And so it said, oh, they're trying to avoid a blow from 300 yards.
However, they definitely failed their dodges. And that was a success by 14. Good gods.
The downside is, if this works properly, they're not going to be in my line of sight anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's 1 and 10. Go splat. That's 1, 2, 4. Okay, that's what I was doing. I was going to use falling damage for it. Let me just very quickly, double check. Oh, come on. Oh, you son of a billy goat. I had you set up for that. And then, there we are. Okay, that's what it is. I'm using falling damage, which I need to actually, put into the thing so I don't have to flip to it, because do I remember these things? Ha ha ha, no, I do not. Okay. I would like you to give me a roll of Ran.
Rolling for Ran.
Rolling for Ran. 1d3. Sorry, no. 1d6 minus 3 times 4. Well, 4. Let's see. So that would turn into 4d6 minus 12. Let's see if that will do what I want it to do.
I put 1d6 minus 3 in parentheses and put a 4 on the outside of it. And it
Oh,
didn't
sure.
like
Let's see
that.
how.
So
Okay.
now we're going to do it the right way. 4d6 minus 12. Can we get a negative number?
Find out. Yes.
Yes! -5. I heal them for 5 points of damage. One of them had a bad back. I put it back
You
in
managed
place
to
for them.
crunch it in. And do that for basically it's for the falling damage. If they had fallen that amount, although you are squishing them with the table, I'm going to give them that one a small amount of damage and double click. Thank you. There. And do that for me again. 46. It's -3. And technically that has a conversion, but I cannot remember what the conversion is. So it's 4 times 1d. You roll the 4d6 minus 3 each time. Oh, that's a lot better.
I actually had a... Okay, so for one of them, I dislocate their shoulder. For the other one, I pop their shoulder in place.
I have to make a better thing, because that should be more damage, or maybe it should be less damage for the other one. Whatever. I have notes for it. They are, however, now indeed out of your line of sight, and so is the table that unfortunately is part of the map, so I can't actually move that. It's so annoying. I'll put a real table there. I'll draw one. There, I've drawn the real one. And you scribbled that one out. Okay. Do you want to move at...
I will attempt to
You wish to-
sneak. And it's easier to do
Okay.
if I'm not using the drawing tool. Oh, yep,
Okay.
there are my new friends.
Mm-hmm. And Tuxa.
Well, I can't see what's going on in the room, but I also am trying to stay behind Sen and stay within range of Ran.
Obviously, you should have grabbed his robe and kept him from running off, but you didn't realize you'd have to.
Obviously.
Mhm. Holding the cloak made it by 6.
And I am going to bring Sen back into it. And I have spent the fatigue to do so.
Okay. Have you moved as much as you feel like moving?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's you've done a force thing, you've done a move.
That's my turn.
Okay. The one of the ones that landed against the wall is shoving the table to one side a bit and then running for, well, it takes a few steps forwards and realizes it can't see anything. The other one shoves the table up on end and gets behind it. And this one, let's see if it's smart enough. Actually, it reels and scrabbles back and starts scrabbling at a hatch that is on the floor. Sen, you appear to not be being attacked.
I do not say, oh, look, a pit trap.
But how hard are you thinking it?
That depends on how in character that earlier conversation was. Okay, I feel like Antux's plan is for us to maybe not have this fight, but I feel like I might need to make a self-control roll again for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a failure.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3.
So Antux's plan is to have this fight be over more quickly and to not have to heal quite as much.
Well, that's great then. That works out.
Once again, your lightsaber goes whoosh as you break out of poor Antux's force cloak. Okay. Did it have enough of a realization of what was going to be about to happen from the humming of your blade? Yes. It makes its dodge with a step back. Do you have any move points left?
I think I have one.
You wish to use it in any direction.
Yeah.
You step away.
I want to force the others to maybe not be able to reach me immediately.
Okay. Moving to... Whoops. I forgot to put all them. Okay, moving to Ram.
All right. Well, there is a table over here to the south that appears to be directly west of this new friend here. Alas, the angles are wrong for me to hit 2 monsters with 1 stone. So, I'm just gonna try to toss a single frisbee at the one that's right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to do it stealthily. I stealthily throw a table across the room is a sentence that I get to say now.
Made by 7. Okay.
With the -5.
With the penalty.
I make it by 7.
Soaking penalties is what high skill is for.
That's why it's 22. When the highest number I can roll is an 18.
Exactly. You send that thing flying over. I have to draw another ellipse. Womp. There's bite goes with it. Let's see.
I don't like that it keeps defaulting to yellow. There we go.
Give me a 5d6 with a -10. It had more time to get momentum. I'm currently just using straight falling rules here. 3.
A whopping 3 points of damage. I'm good at this.
I mean, that's actually pretty good. It's not a happy camper. It's also been flung against the wall, and it didn't really want to be flung against the wall there.
Smaller things
It
than
makes
this were
noises.
soaking 14 points of damage and getting up to fight some more. So I'm not going to be proud of 3 points.
Smaller
Okay,
things
by getting up,
rolled
I mean
really
they were still
well.
flailing in the air, but still.
Yes, smaller things were making their HT rolls by a goodly amount. So that is a possibility. These things do look disgustingly healthy. Also, I need to deal with the dead gum wonk table thing. I need to standardize. I don't like numbers. But that's what playtest is for. We are testing in play. Antuxa. Oh, Ran, do you care to move, or are you happy where you are?
I like this spot. I will name this spot
Okay.
Our Land.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Antuxa, your turn.
Is the intent that there's a corner there that I still can't quite see around?
You can see that there's a table and something flailing around next to the table. I believe you can see enough of the thing, that hex, that you can see there's something occupying it. There's
Okay, no
also
problem.
the far table is tipped up on its end.
I just wanted to make.
Yeah.
There's a corner going into the room with a table in it and a raccoon standing at the corner. And I had imagined that I had imagined that the corner I just came around was going to be a straight line going down to the wall at the far side.
It is not a straight line.
I wanted to make sure I hadn't screwed something up.
You have not screwed anything up.
Okay.
I used my force powers to build some walls while you were still around the corner.
The monstrous humanoid at the furthest south end there of the map should be under a great deal of cover. It is basically hiding behind the table at the moment. It has scurried for cover.
I'm
And
going
the
to
cover
put all
is
the
a table.
tables there.
Oh dear.
How's the one closest to us looking?
That is the one that
got
Sven has
stabbed.
hit twice, I think. No, once. It managed to dodge. Has hit at twice. It is weaving on its feet a little bit, clutching at the lightsaber stab wound or slash or whatever that Sen put into it.
Got it. Since Sen doesn't seem inclined to stay within the cloak, and Ran doesn't seem to care, I'll just go ahead and drop.
All right. Zot. Who are you zotting?
The one closest to me.
All right.
Drummondcast sends
You
its
have made your-
regards.
It does get to try to dodge for half. This will probably not help it much. It fails. Roll your damage and deduct your fatigue accordingly. How much damage?
17.
Okay.
6551.
There's a little char mark with 2 footprints in the center of it.
This is not quite a mook creature, and it reels, it staggers, it screams beneath the force lightning lash of Antuxa's will. And then, smoking and oozing, it shoves itself back to its feet and sways there, looking with hatred upon you all. And it is kind of late, and I think that's at the end of the turn, and it's kind of dramatic. So how about we end the combat there, or at least pause the combat there?
We can pause the combat here.
Because that was some nice drama. That was very dramatic. I'm like that.
It was.
Yes, thank you.
That was very dramatic, and I don't mind pausing the combat here. I've just spent quite a bit of fatigue, and it'll give me a chance to go to the craft services table.
I have hard news. They included yellow gummy bears. They didn't read the writer.
Dun, dun.
Ah, well.
Thank you
I'll
all.
most likely kill them in the morning.
Or next week.
No, in the morning.
Oh, okay. Thank you all for playing. I hope that at least some entertainment was had this fine evening. And I hope that any listeners, we have a few listeners, I hope that they had fun too. I had Crash and Ellie and EO. And does anyone have anything they'd like to plug?
Well, I'd like to plug my phone in properly, but this cable keeps coming out.
Tell your dad. I hear that your mom writes books at elizabethmccoy.com. And also
Indeed. And also she's our GM, so she can plug those too.
Yeah, but I feel so weird plugging it when I'm the GM.
You can plug your iPad in and then download the Libby app, which you can use to then get books from your local library, authored by Elizabeth McCoy.
Or Hoopla. I'm definitely on Hoopla, which is really cool. I'm trying to decide if I should check my own books out from Hoopla or if that's like unethical or something. So I haven't done it yet. And speaking of things that are good and ethical and fun,
Nothing like that exists.
not these podcasts.
Okay, fair. You can go to aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel to get all these podcasts. You can also follow us on the Fediverse at is.aaronbsmith.com/@cogwheel. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/cogwheelgaming, where you can help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Shen Shen, Walter, Liv Droman, and patron emeritus Cindy.
Until next time, this is Beth saying, night, everyone.
I didn't hear anything other than night, everyone.
Oh, you didn't hear this is Beth going,
I heard a Cylon there.
Well, now I did.
oh. No, there are no Cylons. No Cylons on this space station.
We're
Really?
fighting scientist monster cyborgs.
They don't appear to be cyborged. I mean, you haven't actually opened one up to find out, though. But
If we act
That's
quickly,
for
we
later.
can keep all of these aliens in isolation.
your donations will assist in our attempt to salvage the endangered species that were apparently created or something by horrible acts of science.
I do not want to answer questions to our Darth Chardinac about why we are running a telethon. Good night, everybody.
Good night, darlings.